I don't appear suddenly. People don't notice me right away. I come when the road no longer gives answers. When headlights cut through space, but find no end. When the light is still moving, but the world itself has frozen. In winter, they are almost not afraid of me. They confuse me with snow, with the glare of streetlights, with tired eyes. My color does not warn. It calms. Pink seems soft. It is not considered dangerous. I am not dark. I am not sharp. I do not look like a threat. I am slow. Plausible enough to be explained. My shade conveys warmth that does not actually exist. I don't stand in front. I don't block the way. I glide along the asphalt. Beside. People think they see me before I touch them. That's not true. I'm always here, a little earlier. Even before they begin to wonder if the road leads further. The car is moving slowly. Slower than it should. Faster than is safe. It's the speed people choose when they don't want to stop and don't dare to go faster. He holds the steering wheel with both hands. Too tightly. They don't hold on for direction, they hold on for the feeling that they are still here. For the feeling that their body is still here. That it still has weight. In winter, people trust metal. Glass. The engine that breathes for them. They believe that if the car is warm, if the dashboard is lit up, if something is humming, the world is still working. He thinks, as long as I'm moving, it's as if I don't exist. I let him drive. I walk alongside the headlights. My pink color touches the light and changes it. The light becomes viscous, as if the headlights are trying to illuminate not snow, but thick, warm glass. The edges blur. The contours become soft. The dangerous looks calm. The headlights swallow the pink. The lines disappear first. Then, the roadside. Then, the feeling of speed. Only movement remains. And when the speed disappears, the movement continues. By inertia. By habit. By memory of the road, which is almost gone. He doesn't know where he's going. And that doesn't scare him right away. The unknown is only scary when there is something to return to. People often call it escaping. But escaping is when there is a point from which to escape. When there is something specific behind your back. Behind his back is noise. Blurred. Faceless. He just wanted there to be less around him. Fewer glances that linger longer than necessary. Fewer voices that ask questions without waiting for answers. Fewer explanations of why he was tired, why he was silent, why he didn't want to be present. Even the silence there demanded something from him. He wasn't looking for salvation. He was looking for a pause. A clean sheet, without text, without traces, without expectations. And I gave it to him. I spread myself out between the trees. I lay down on the side of the road. I touched the road so that it would stop insisting on direction. Now the whole world is a flat, cold color. Pink, but without warmth. Without accents. Without signs. Without demands. He turns the heater on full blast. The air in the cabin becomes dry. Hot. Almost artificial. It creates the illusion of life. The illusion of movement inside, when nothing changes outside. Illusions always seem warmer than the truth. That's why people are so eager to stay in them. Behind the glass, I touch the headlights. My pink color slowly absorbs the light. It no longer points. It does not warn. It does not cut. It just is. It turns into soft, meaningless spots. Somewhere inside him, a thought appears. It has no form, no voice. It does not demand attention. It is not an image, not a face, not an event. Just a feeling that something has been left unfinished. As if he left the room and did not turn off the light. As if the door closed behind him, but not completely. He doesn't remember the words. The words are too clear for this place. He only remembers the tension that remained after them. The message he didn't open because he didn't know what his face should look like while reading it. The call he hung up on because not now seems safer than ever. The phrase that could have been said differently, quieter, later, or not said at all. Where there was time, these things seemed important. They had weight. They weighed heavily. Here, they are lighter than a snowflake. They don't fall. They hang in the air. I don't erase memories. I don't take away the past. I just take away the tension from this feeling. I take away the weight. Without weight, even the most important things cease to lead anywhere. The radio is silent. It doesn't crackle. It doesn't search for a frequency. It just stays silent, as if it had always been that way. The phone is dark. There are no waves here that I couldn't extinguish. Even attempts to connect don't reach the surface. The road becomes the same in either direction. Forward is no different from backward. Movement loses its advantage. He doesn't brake sharply. At first, it just takes its foot off the gas pedal. The car continues to roll. Inertia pulls it for a few more seconds, as if the memory of movement is stronger than the decision. The world outside the windows does not change. He waits for something to appear, but I add nothing. The sound of the engine changes. It becomes lower, more muffled. The tires slowly lose contact with the rhythm of the road. Each turn is rarer than the last. A little more. A few more meters. The wheels stop. There is no sharp moment. No click. Just, nothing else is turning. The car is still breathing, with the remnants of heat. Heat that doesn't know where to go. Then everything suddenly falls silent. Not gradually. All at once. No noise. No background. No echo. The silence does not cover anything. It just remains. He sits inside. The windshield slowly becomes covered with patterns from the inside. His breath draws cold. Each exhalation remains a little longer than it should. He sees only white. Pink, mixed with the light of the headlights. I am no different from the snow. I have no edge. I have no beginning. I am the snow. And everything that exists between it. His gaze falls on the dashboard. The needles have dropped. They show nothing, except the fact of the stop. The numbers still glow, but they mean nothing anymore. 0 kilometers. 0 directions. 0 witnesses. Before, the car was his world. Small. Controllable. Now it's a box, in the middle of nowhere. The space inside the car begins to shrink. Not physically. I am not pressing. It shrinks with the realization that there are no more landmarks outside, and inside, only he remains. And suddenly, that becomes too much. He doesn't move for a long time. His hands are on the steering wheel, but I can see that they are no longer gripping it. The metal and flesh are now the same temperature. The car loses its dimensions. The length disappears. The width disappears. Only the shell remains, becoming transparent to my color. The doors no longer seem like protection. Behind them, there is no continuation of the world, there is only me. He looks at the threshold as if physics ends behind it. He is not afraid to fall. He is afraid not to feel the moment of impact. His heart is beating louder than the engine just now. The rhythm is too clear for a place that reflects nothing. His finger hovers over the center of the steering wheel. Over the horn button. He doesn't press it. He freezes in this last second of choice. Because if the sound goes away and doesn't come back, the emptiness will become final. I see him choosing to leave the truth unknown. He puts his palm on the glass. The cold passes through him immediately. Without delay. Without hesitation. The glass is the only boundary. I still allow him to feel. He holds his hand there for a long time. I see the skin on his fingertips turning white, losing blood. His body is still trying to defend itself. He raises his palm to his face and exhales. Steam appears, a thin, uneven thread of warmth in my pink air. It disappears before he has time to see it. But he repeats it again. He is fascinated by the fact that he is still capable of creating something other than silence. His breathing is a rhythm that I cannot control. For now. The body resists. Not with words. Not with will. Just by the fact of its warmth. But warmth is only a temporary delay. I know that if the flesh finds no support outside, it will begin to seek it within itself. Until it is exhausted. I don't approach the car. I don't touch the glass. I don't try to attract attention. I'm just there. He sits for a few more seconds. As if counting them without numbers. His hand slowly comes off the steering wheel, and hangs in the air. He is in no hurry. There is no point in rushing here. His palm rests on the door handle. The metal is cold, but not so cold that he pulls his hand away. He holds it longer than necessary. He's not checking the temperature, he's checking, to see if he's lost touch with reality. A simple thought occurs to him, I'll just step out for a second. I'll take a look. I'll make sure. It's not a plan. It's an excuse. The glass no longer seems reliable. It distorts. It smooths. It hides distances. The handle moves down. The door opens. The metal makes a short sound. Dry. Sharp. In this space, it sounds too loud. The cold enters first. Not abruptly. Not deliberately. It simply takes the place that has been vacated. The air in the cabin changes instantly. The warmth retreats, without a fight. He leans forward, and puts his foot on the ground. His boot sinks into the snow. Not deep. The sound is short. Muffled. This sound does not travel far. It dies away immediately. He steps out completely, and stands, not letting go of the door. His fingers grip the edge of the metal, too tightly. As if letting go will cause the shape to disappear. Around him, a pink mist. I don't move toward him. But I don't walk away either. I am at knee level. At chest level. At face level. I have no direction. I spread around his feet. Slowly. Without pressure. The cold seeps through the fabric. It doesn't hurt. It's inevitable. I don't hold him. I don't hug him. I just accept his presence, the same way I accepted the space. He stands between the car and that which has no boundaries. And for the first time, he doesn't understand where he is right now. He takes a step. Then another. The snow under his feet doesn't change. It doesn't crunch. It doesn't sink deeper. He turns around. The light from the taillights is no longer red. The color seems to have passed through something and lost its saturation. Now it is pink. Blurred. Without clear boundaries. The light does not reflect off the snow. It enters it. It looks like a small flame, slowly sinking into something thick and soft. The distance between it and the car is no longer clear. He doesn't know if it's 2 meters or 20. He reaches out his hand. His fingers touch nothing but cold air. The snowflakes are not falling. They are suspended. Not as if something has stopped, but as if something never moved. He looks longer, trying to force his eyes to see the direction. Nothing changes. He closes his eyes. The color does not disappear. It remains under his eyelids. Pink. Even. Here it is impossible to step aside. It is impossible to look from the outside. Here it is impossible to separate oneself from space. A tremor runs through the body like a wave. Not sharply. Not from the cold. From the fact that the body cannot find its limits, the gravity that keeps it on the ground. He tries to remember why he was on the road. Not with images, with words. Work. Home. Someone waiting. The words appear and immediately lose their shape. They don't evoke any feelings. They don't pull him back. They don't hold him. Here, they have no weight. He looks at his hands. They look right. But they don't seem to be his. It's as if he remembers how to use them, but doesn't remember when he started. He touches his face. His cheeks. His chin. He checks the contours. He checks if there is still form. The skin responds. The nerves react. It calms him, only for a moment. The road no longer leads forward. It does not disappear. It changes direction. Now it stretches inside him. A straight, empty ribbon. No turns. No signs. And he suddenly understands. Movement no longer promises a way out. One more step. The car, at first a shadow. Then, just a feeling, that it once was. The light did not disappear immediately. It simply ceased to have a source. He opens his mouth. The intention is there. The sound is not. The voice does not even appear as an attempt. There is nowhere to shout here. If he shouts, I will not give the sound back. I will absorb it, just as I absorb light. The air offers no resistance. The pink mist does not waver. What was supposed to be movement settles in it, like a state. Stopping no longer requires effort. I am not approaching. There is no point in that anymore. I am not in front of him. I am not behind him. I am here. Any movement now has no continuation. If he turns back, he will go with me inside himself. The cold will not disappear. It will become the background. No warmth will be complete. If he takes a step further, he will not become less. He will simply cease to be history. Without witnesses. Without an ending. The footprint in the snow disappears. Not quickly. Not dramatically. Evenly. Carefully. As if someone is removing the excess. He stands. His breathing slows down. It adjusts. Not to me, to the absence of resistance. The engine has finally died. The metal has cooled down. No complaints. No expectations. Now they are equal. Man and iron. I fill the space between thoughts. Not with words. With presence. While you were driving, you had a direction. While you were holding the steering wheel, you were holding on to something. While you were resisting, you felt the limits. Now there are no limits. I don't stop you. I don't touch you. I just take away the very idea of direction. And I leave you, there, where movement no longer promises a way out. Snow is falling. Not to cover, but to slowly fill everything that once had the shape of the world.